Greetings, citizens of yesteryear. I am Booster Gold, the hero of tomorrow. I came back to the past to ensure my future by protecting your present. So trust a man of tomorrow when he says the best CPU processors you can get are from Starware.
Cut!
What was the issue there, boss?
It was soulless, Michael.
Actually, I prefer Booster.
Okay then, Booster. There was no life in your voice. Somehow, your robot had more of a voice.
What the hell do you care, you hack?
Excuse me?
Soulless? What soul did this whole thing have to begin with? It's a commercial for your stupid, primitive computers. Come on, I've been doing ads like this for months now. I'm a pro. This is how they go, buddy. I show up, put on my megawatt smile, say the generic lines you threw together in like 5 minutes, and you make a mint off using me as a flashy prop. Stop acting like we're making fine art here.
God, I hate working with you super types. Ugh, I wish we had gone with Crimson Fox instead.
Crimson Fox? That reject? She can barely speak English, you know? I'm in the goddamn Justice League. You'd be lucky to have my talents.
International. You're on the Justice League International, not even the real deal team. You couldn't hack it in the US, so you go everywhere else to save face.
Mighty big words for someone without a power suit.
Little did Booster know that the ad director was a metahuman with super strength. He would end up on the street within 5 minutes.
That could have gone better, sir.
Preaching to the choir, Skeets. Preaching to the choir.
So, what's the plan now?
I don't know. No one will hire me for actual work. I've been doing these ad deals to break into the industry and make some real dough, but they don't go anywhere. If I'm going to be doing this crap at all, I want it to matter. And if I get another email from that damn plumbing company, I swear I will go back to the future. I just want a job that means something. Something where I'm not just shilling crap.
Very noble, sir. Now, shall I call Theodore Cord?
Hold up. Is Blue Beetle's name Theodore?
Where did you think Ted came from, sir?
I don't know. I assumed he was just Ted. Yeah, call thine good Sir Theodore.
Hey, Booster, what's up?
Are you, doing anything right now? I need a ride back to Metropolis.
Wait, can't you fly? Where the hell are you?
California. I can fly, but I may be running low on fuel cells.
Give me 20 minutes.
Love you, Ted.
I deeply hate you.
Deep in the stars, just past the Milky Way, there lies a series of interconnected metallic planets, satellites, and alien ships known as the Cluster, or as most of the stars know it, the Hollywood of space! Inside the main ship, in an office, there sits on a throne a large man in a gold suit of armor, a mask with slits for eyes and for a mouth, and a long purple cape. He sits in a chair as his assistant, a tiny gold robot with a stereo-shaped head, scampers in.
Hail, Ron, my loyal and steady companion. What brings you to my office?
My glorious producer and god in flesh, Manga Khan. I have come bearing weary news.
And what is said weary news, my trusty servant?
The latest fantasy production of the Cluster has underperformed.
Oh? How dire is it?
It only made 3.17 billion credits.
What? How in the life that is named did... What? How could it make so little?
The masses have called it fantasy fatigue.
How could they be fatigued by our fields? They are some of the greatest in the galaxy. We've been giving the people exactly what they've been wanting for centuries. The masses know nothing of true greatness.
They do not, my lord.
What hath thine reviews been saying? Why do the populace dislike our art?
The critics have been saying they are sloppily made, over-reliance on CGI, Their release dates aren't far enough away from each other and...
In anger, Manga Khan grabs a potted plant and throws it against the wall.
These morons don't get it! They don't get greatness if it's slapped them in the face! If they aren't watching our movies, what have these serfs been watching?
They've been using television waves of movies from a backwater planet named Earth.
Elron projected a hologram of a random TV show for Manga to see.
Bazinga!
So, they replace quality with a bunch of hairless apes throwing their own fecal matter against the wall! And what's so popular on that, Mudball?
Movies about those apes, but with superpowers.
So these apes love these superheroes. Maybe they aren't all bad. Maybe to combat them, we need a superhero of our own.
Stay golden with Soda Cola, and you can shine like me. Booster Gold.
Sorry, my lord, that's an advertisement. Allow me
Hold
to...
on, Snitch Elron. He's perfect. Get me Booster Gold.
20,000 miles above the American Midwest, Blue Beetle and Booster Gold flew inside the bug with Ted piloting it.
So, you wanna talk about it?
Talk about what?
I don't know, just maybe about you being in California, outside of a Big Belly Burger, the crying.
I wasn't crying.
No, absolutely, no, sure. Didn't look like crying at all, the tears and all.
I wasn't crying.
Dude, it's fine if you were. I'm not judging.
I wasn't crying!
Then what the hell was going on, man?
I was at an ad read.
Oh, your usual shill crap?
Hey, not everyone's a genius, billionaire, shut-in philanthropist, okay? Some of us have jobs. Let's see. Mari and B have modeling. Dmitri, he gets a Russian salary. Ralph has his detective business. Guy, I have no clue where Guy gets his money from. I actually think he counterfeits it with the ring. Same with Tora, but you get my points. They all have some semblance of a job. I can't really get a normal one, so...
Well, why can't you get a normal one? I could always hire you at Cord. We could always use more security.
That's not how it works, Ted. Because I'm from the future, I don't have a social security number, or a proper bank account, or any formal thing showing I exist. These ad agencies pay with cash, everywhere else doesn't. I really don't want to be doing this crap. Besides, I want to do something with impact.
Yeah. You're in a tough spot here, huh, bud?
You can say that again, Teddy.
Before either of them could talk again, an interspatial rift opened before them, launching the bug into deep space.
What the hell is going on, Ted?
I don't know, Booster. I think we're in space.
Huh? What makes you say that?
The fact we are gonna lose oxygen real soon unless we act.
Ted rushed to the central console through the zero gravity, trying to think of a solution, but the windows began to crack under the strain of the vacuum of space.
Booster, force field, now!
I'm out of power!
Well, then we have minutes to live.
As both of the men closed their eyes and welcomed the sweet release of death, air returned to their lungs as a force field was created around the ship from Manga Khan's cluster.
Greetings, humans! I am Manga Khan, grand producer of the cluster and your savior. Board our ship for refuge.
Oh, thank God. Oh, we're saved.
Appears so.
Back at the Metropolis Embassy, the day went by normally, with Ralph on monitor duty, Fire and Jay handling an emergency in Mexico, and Guy off-world for a mission with the Corps. The embassy was unusually quiet. Some would say, peaceful. This rubbed Ice the wrong way.
Have you seen Beetle or Booster?
Nope. Me and the missus were out at the furniture barn, purchasing a new couch for the embassy. Check in with Marie, baby?
Maury have you seen dead?
Yeah, I think he went out to get Booster. Yesterday.
Have you seen him since then?
I don't think so. Maybe check with Terrific? I believe he and Ted were working on something.
Mr. Terrific, have you seen?
No.
What do you mean, no? I didn't ask you the question.
You asked Maury and Ralph the same thing, and they're both sitting 10 feet away. Mr. Cord left to pick up gold yesterday and hasn't been seen since.
Okay, then why aren't we out there trying to find them? They are our teammates, we must.
We can't assume this is an emergency, Ice. Booster is known to be gone for a few days and Beetle's a CEO. I would expect him to be gone from time to time.
But...
Drop it, Ice. We can't waste our resources on maybe. We need to be here at the ready. They can handle themselves.
We got Blue Snowman causing a ruckus down in Gateway City.
On that subject, I gotta handle this. Maury, you and me.
See ya, Tora.
Tora would walk off dejected, but would see the gentle giant Dmitri in the kitchen making a sandwich.
Greetings, Comrade Tora!
Oh, hello, Dmitri. Have you seen Ted or Booster recently?
I do not believe I have. Have you tried calling them?
Yes, they didn't pick up.
Odd.
I think something bad is happening to them.
Then we have no time to waste. Meet me in the mission room, Comrade Tora. We must save our companions.
In deep space, the bug makes its way into the cluster, where Booster Gold and Blue Beetle are escorted by Khan's loyal assistant Elron down the hallway.
Greetings, Earthlings. I am Elron, the humble servant of our gracious Lord and Savior, Manga Khan.
Is this some sort of slave crap?
Of course not. I was saved by our dear Lord Manga Khan, and I chose to give all of my battery's life force to his righteous cause.
Oh, and what is this righteous cause?
What else but to make the greatest films this side of the cosmos has ever seen? He's a real auteur.
Auteur? Wait, are you saying we were saved by Interstellar Spielberg?
Don't insult my lord like that. Comparing him to a Terran with such a lack of quality is just obscene. He is greater than that Spielberg has any right to be.
I'm personally a fan of his movie, Hook.
Well, who cares what some trash droid has to think?
This, coming from an outdated relic of a robot.
Outdated? I'm going to crush you into one of my master's paperweights.
Hey, it's cool. Calm down, guys. Let's not be too rude to our gracious savior, alright?
Well, he started it.
Elron opens the door to Manga Khan's office, where Khan is in a nice suit.
Hello, please take a seat over there. We have much to talk about.
Well, I am grateful that I'm not dead and all, but please, we both better get back going to our planet. Come on, Booster.
Nonsense! Everyone has time for some soda cola.
Wait, Booster, isn't that the soda you endorsed?
Huh. Yeah, you're right. Actually, some of my better work. You know, back when I thought those commercials were worth putting effort into. Looks like this Manga Khan guy did his research.
Of course I did, and what I saw was you, Mikey. Can I call you that? I saw your talents get wasted on advertisements. You were made for the silver screen, my boy.
Thank you. Really, I appreciate it.
In fact, my boy, your talent was so good, I wanted to ask if you would stay a little longer. Maybe a day or two and cameo one of my films. You got star power, boy.
Oh, I really shouldn't.
You'd, of course, be paid handsomely. Only the best for my talent. Come on. Don't Don't you want to make a name for yourself? Really, man?
I'm sold!
I'm not. I would very much like to get back home, please.
Of course! I'm having some of my set engineers make repairs to that bug of yours. You may leave anytime you wish. Now, Elron, before you help Mr. Cold out of the cluster, would you mind bringing the contract in?
Elron walked in, carrying a contract taller than he, and placed it on the desk.
What's this for?
Just to ensure you get paid just what you deserve. 7 million credits. Just sign the top page.
Yeah, if I could read over that real quick.
Lord Cord, please follow me to your insectoid ship.
I guess see you later, Booster.
Yeah, totally, bro. Now, Manga, what's the craft services here like?
Back at the embassy's mission room, Dmitri and Tora put their heads together, trying to figure out what happened to the men.
According to the Beetle's flight log, they just vanished somewhere around the Ohio. But there was a brief blip with them in space.
How could they have just spoofed like that?
I do not know, but we should get the best detective we know on the case.
Yes, we should get Ralph.
What? No! We need someone even better.
Batman?
Niet! Someone even better!
Detective Chimp?
Niet! The greatest detective Russia has ever known! Inspector Dmitri Pushkin.
Oh, I got excited to see the monkey and the hat.
It would have been very humorous. Anyways, I think Gardner's magic ring could know.
He is doing something in space right now. We cannot use him.
You are correct, my dear Tora. But maybe he has spare one.
I don't think it works like that.
It is worth shot. Come with me to his room.
Dmitri and Tora walk up to Guy Gardner's room, which has 3 padlocks and chains covering it.
Okay, stand back, Tora. I will punch into his room.
No, Dmitri. Stand back. This requires a lighter touch.
Tora places a hand on the doorknob, freezing it to the point of shattering. When they opened Guy's door, they didn't know what to expect from his living quarters. Tora expected something messy and chaotic, and Dmitri expected it to be covered from wall to wall in Green Lantern merchandise. But his actual room was very clean, with a large bookshelf covered in academic texts. His bed was perfectly made with tight corners and a teddy bear sitting on his pillow. Tora picks it up and gave it a squeeze.
Guy still sleeps with a teddy bear. How sweet.
What is Team Fortress 2, and why are there so many posters of it?
It is one of the video games that Guy likes. At dinner, he sometimes watches videos on his phone of it.
I did not pin him for gamer. Now look through his drawers and find one of the rings.
Of course, Inspector Pushkin.
Manga Khan at this point has taken Booster to his ultra film lot. A film set the size of 3 alien planets, in which thousands of aliens work without break, operating cameras, editing, building sets, and the like.
Whoa. This is...
Amazing!
I was gonna say... a lot.
Well, if you want to be the biggest intergalactic film producer, you need to be able to produce as much content as possible.
So, what am I doing today?
Mike and my boy, we're giving you a post-credit scene at the end of a movie in our biggest franchise. We gotta tease the audience a little so they keep tuning in. You understand, of course.
Oh, alright. Hey, this is gonna turn into something big, right?
Oh, they'll never forget you, Mike and my boy.
Shouldn't I go get into makeup?
Makeup? Look at you. Blonde hair, blue eyes, that chiseled jawline. Oh! Trust me, we can't make up somebody more marketable than you. Now get up there and let's make some magic.
Booster stumbled onto the set as he quickly scanned through his lines. He then stood in the dark corner of the set as Manga Khan called,
Action!
Booster waited for a few seconds for his cue, but the actor he was supposed to be acting off of wasn't there. Can you imagine what that would be like?
Where's the other guy?
We'll edit him in later. Just say your lines!
Oh, well, okay. So, Machine Head, you've certainly made a name for yourself. I'm putting a team together. Care to join us?
And that was just a sneak peek at the cluster's newest movie, Nightman, which has already grossed 5 billion credits. Here we are with the newest breakout star in the manga cinematic universe. Booster Gold, everyone! Mr. Gold, our radiant master Manga Khan has told us that this was just the first taste of a long line of projects with you at the helm. How does being recognized as real talent feel?
You know, it's terrific, Ron. I've been wanting to make it big for a long time, and doing it as part of real art makes it all the sweeter. And I owe it all to the best agent a guy could ask for, Manga Khan.
Oh, Mikey, you are too kind. You and I are gonna make a lot of money together.
Meanwhile, deep below the set, Blue Beetle was escorted by Elrond to the damp and dreary sublevel until they arrived at a heavily secured door.
I don't remember much, but I'm pretty sure this isn't the way back to the bug.
Of course it isn't. I'm not taking you to the bug, Mr. Cord.
Then where are you taking me?
Our studio relies on ideas to make movies. Without the stories from a diverse group of people, we can't do anything. It's a very prestigious position, you know.
Uh-huh. Where are you going with all of this?
We looked into you, Mr. Cord. You're one of the greatest minds your mudball has to offer. Who better to add to the staff in the writer's room?
Wait, what?
Elrond said as he opened the door, revealing a prison the size of a planet with aliens of all different species chained to tables with typewriters. Every writer quickly hammered away at their stations, putting out scripts which would eventually be funneled into a large machine shaped like Elrond's head. Elrond then threw Ted in one, with a tall, red-skinned man with a bulbous head and big yellow eyes.
Get comfortable, because you're going to be here a long time.
Wait, no! Ah! What the hell is going on?
Welcome, Cerulean Roach. I am Jemm, son of Saturn. This is your tomb, for this is the place you will die.
Oh, great. A theater major. It's okay. I have a communicator in my utility belt. I'll try to radio Green Lantern.
That will not work, my friend. Elrond blocks all signals into and out of this hellish place. My telepathy is even lost by the signal.
Oh, how wonderful. So are we just expected to roll over and die?
Not exactly. The manga uses wormholes to draw people in empty space to offer them contracts for their talents. You're either cast or crew. Those the manga don't deem marketable are relegated to crew.
So then what happens to you guys?
The one upside is that despite making the magic happen, the manga finds us expendable. Once we produce 100 scripts, he lets us go, even pays us for our work. That's how Grant got out.
So how many have gotten out?
1, Grant. Everyone else here's probably made 1,000, but they've been rejected for failing to meet the manga's standard. Allow me to demonstrate.
Jemm took a bundled script and sent it up the tube to the massive Elrond head.
This story I have been writing since I got here. It is a recounting of the war between Saturn and Mars and the eradication of my people. If I can tell the world my story, then all of this will be worth it.
Story not marketable. Too small of a target audience. Script rejected.
I have been at 99 scripts for 8 years, but I refuse to leave until this one is accepted.
But why? You could be free at any time.
Because the cluster has a monopoly on broadcasts and in the galaxy. If I don't do it here, I can't get it shown anywhere, so I keep trying.
And he's a damned fool.
Across the hallway, another prisoner in a blue hood with a large pale head and bug-like red eyes chucks a wad of paper at Jemm.
Who are you?
The name's Kanjar Rowe. Been here for just under a year. Thought this whole writer shtick would be a good way to make some credits. But I didn't read the contract. I didn't realize I don't get paid till I finish. I don't like my stuff either. That's just the job.
My friend just signed on with Manga as a cast member. What's gonna happen to him?
Oh, he's doomed. If Manga finds him marketable, he's gonna be here forever.
Your friend will be a cash cow, Roach, and he will be milked dry by the manga's content farm.
Booster, no. No! I ain't gonna stand by that. I'm Ted Cord, and on Earth, they call me the Blue Beetle, and I'm gonna save every soul in this prison.
Ah, great, another hero. How do you keep attracting these nutjobs, Jemm?
Hush now, Kanjar Rowe. It is nice to see someone with hope in this hell.
Give it a week tops. He'll be gone by then.
Well, I think you underestimate humans, Kanjar. We are pretty damn stubborn.
Oh, so you have a death wish, too?
Yeah, some would call it that. I would just call it some good old-fashioned grit. Now, if you're done being a sourpuss, could you hand me that fork?
And why would I do that?
Because after I break out, I'm breaking everyone else out, and then taking on Khan.
Over what felt like months, Booster Gold would star in a long series of other movies. Some would be alright, others even good. One of them even great. But most of the ones he starred in were mediocre, too bad. To an entire 6-episode miniseries that was so horrible it tanked the entire manga cinematic universe. The worst part was that for these projects, Booster was actually trying. He was actually a decent actor, but at a certain point, the material could not be salvaged. And once the audience acclaim had faded, Booster had had enough.
Khan!
What's the problem, Mikey? We need you on set for season 2 of Saturn Invasion. Chop chop, boy!
These shows are crap, Manga. I can't take it anymore. I've been doing these for... Oh my god, how long have I been here?
This is the cluster, my boy. Time moves as fast as cash flows. You've been here for like 2 days. But you've been acting for like 6 months.
How many months? Oh my god. Okay, that's it. I quit. I'm done. No more.
Don't test me, boy. You're still under contract.
What? You said I would only cameo in one movie, and then I'd be able to go home. I've done far more than just one cameo. I think I've been doing the same basic plots over and over again. I've been carrying your slop fest this whole time, and it's all been for nothing. Just give me what I've earned, and I'm out of here.
Well, this contract that you signed reads differently. Elron, my dear squire, please bring Mr. Michael John Carter his contract.
Yes, it's right here, my lord.
Oh, thank you, my dearest companion. Now looky here, Section X, subsection 88.
I hereby declare that I will star in 42,000 cluster films, and a breach of contract will result in death? Or worse?
And we wouldn't want to break contract, now would we? So, how about you follow Elron the makeup? Make yourself nice and marketable.
Yes, sir.
Now, Mikey, we both know our consumers don't care about the quality. It's the slop that feeds them, boy. Now get back to cooking.
I just have one more question. Where's Skeets?
Oh, we've been using him as a camera. Right over there.
Manga pointed over at Skeets, forcibly strapped to a camera dolly and connected to a tangle of wires and handles, all being operated by Elron.
Deactivate me.
No.
I'm gonna die here.
On Earth, Tora and Dmitri have turned Guy Gardner's room upside down looking for a Green Lantern ring.
Oh, I believe the search was futile, dear friend Tora.
Friend Gardner does not seem to have any backup rings.
He does have a lot of dolls for something called the Star Trek.
Oh, wait! I found something!
Did you find his backup ring?
I will do you one better. I found his wallet!
Dmitri, what use could his wallet be?
We could get Big Belly Burger. He has gift card.
We will not steal his gift card, Dmitri.
As the two continue to argue, Tora yanks Guy's wallet out of Dimitri's suit-covered hands. This violent action caused a card to fall out of Guy's wallet with a ginger-headed man in a green suit and cap on it.
Wait, what is that? What is a space cabbie?
If you need a ride across the Milky Way, I'm the guy you need to pay. Dmitri, I think this is how we get to space.
Good detective work, guys. Maybe I should be your Watson, Inspector Olafsdottir.
Damn right.
Greetings, travelers of the stars. I am your ferry through the infinitesimal flurry of the stars. I am your space cabbie. Now what can I do you for?
Hello, Mr. Space Cabbie. I am Rocky Red number 4, aka Dmitri Pushkin.
And I am Ice. We are friends of Guy.
Please don't say Gardner. For the love of Oa, don't say Gardner.
Ah, so you know him.
What does he want?
Doesn't want anything. Me and my partner.
Miet, I am your sidekick, Inspector Olafsdottir.
Yes, he is. Anyways, our friends have vanished in space and we need help to find them.
Do you have money?
Nah.
Give me 10 minutes.
Looks like, my dear Winston, we will hit the road.
But if we go to space, will there be road to hit?
I don't know.
It is relative month 9 and Booster Gold is at the end of his rope. His brow is covered in sweat. He is at least 15 pounds lighter than before he started, and he wants to die. Even his appearance is on. The time is a fickle construct on the cluster, so a scheduleless, meaningless show with Elron made it apparent that Booster had fully lost his spark for acting. On the flip side, he's made the studio at least 50 billion credits with his star power, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, my dear maiden, I love you so... Okay, I don't get the plot here. Why is the prince romancing a robot?
We'll CGI on Elron and make him a gorgeous maiden later. Using AI actors is how we save on costs.
Can I have just like a 10-minute break, please?
No! We need more content! You've already put us 6 years behind with your pitiful questions.
I'm tired, Manga. I can't do this anymore. Just let me go, please. There's no artist in me anymore. I'm not worth anything to you like this. I'm not worth anything anymore.
Don't you understand, boy? It's not you that's worth anything. I've been dead since I perfected it. It's the IP, Mikey. Booster Gold has been the most marketable product we've ever produced here in the cluster. The bottom feeders who consume our slop can't get enough of us. All because your name's on it. And I own you, Mikey. So I'm gonna keep squeezing you dry until you're crying dust, boy. Now, get back to work.
The second Manga Khan stopped talking, Booster Gold made a leap towards the maniacal producer, but suddenly Khan's body began breaking apart and floating away, revealing a fully gaseous inner body. Not the usual way, his actual body is made of gas. It then reformed behind Booster with his hand around his throat.
Critics always said I was all glamour, no substance. They was right.
Manga Khan then threw Booster across the set, crashing into the camera dolly Skeets was mounted to, destroying it, and freeing Booster's faithful companion.
Thank you, sir. I owe you one.
You and your pathetic excuse for a drone's freedom will be short-lived.
Those are fighting words, trash can.
Of course, this comes from a glorified toaster.
You'll regret that, you boom mic with legs.
Skeets flew towards the gangly golden robot, bumping against him but doing no damage.
Oh, I'm so frightened of a robot with no arms.
Now how about instead of trying a pitiful revolt, get back to filming some damn movies?
Oh, I don't think so.
Booster turns around, seeing the Blue Beetle with makeshift gear alongside a small army of his fellow prisoners, with Jemm, son of Saturn, and Kanjar on either side of him.
Teddy? Is that you? I haven't seen you in 9 months!
Wait, what? Really? It's been like 2 weeks for me, man. 9 months. Anyways, I brought some friends.
My lordship, what a lousy line! For a group of riders, you are terrible at coming up with one-liners.
Well, for a tyrant, you're looking a little outnumbered.
And that's because you haven't met.
Suddenly, from out of nowhere, thousands of Elrons, big and small, appear, building an army rivaling the Blue Beetles.
The Ultra Film Arts live studio audience, the Legion of Elrons. There are so many of them, Roach.
Dude, how many times have I told you not to call me Roach? And our army is like 15 times stronger than his.
God, you really do have a death wish.
Okay, Kanjar, you're in charge while I leave.
So you're just abandoning us?
Just for a little bit. I need to grab something.
Great. Yeah. Rocket. Long live Blue Beetle.
Long live Manga Khan.
The two armies rush into each other with flesh hitting metal as the army of AI strikes against the prisoners of the cluster. It was glorious, hard-fought, and auditorily spectacular. But we can't really get into that fight. Not enough voice actors, and John struggles with editing fight scenes. So, after this amazing battle, the prisoners had mostly won, with a majority of them escaping, but Booster Gold was still captured with a battle-damaged Manga Khan gloating over him. It was a lot. You missed a lot. It was great.
I can't believe you thought your little revolutionary gambit would work.
But...
Of course it didn't! The armies of Manga Khan would never lose to the likes of you.
But you kinda did? You were just able to get me, but, like, the prisoners escaped.
Yeah. Shut up. Doesn't matter anyways, because we still have you in the end.
Or do you?
Get Bill! One-liners!
Well, I'm not gonna need to once me and Booster skedaddle.
I don't think that'll be happening.
Oh, it will. Because when you were distracted with my army, I had a minute to look over Booster's contract.
Oh, you mean the airtight contract that I had my best lawyers in the multiverse make?
Yeah, it was a pretty great contract. With the finest print that would make some of my lawyers blush. But there was one thing you neglected.
And that is?
You assumed Booster was an adult.
What?
Well, your star booster here, he was born in the year 3086, which technically makes him negative 1076 years old, and a legal minor by all galactic standards. And as we all know, without a parent present, contracts of minor signs are non-binding.
What? That can't be right.
I'm sorry, my lord. He is right. That contract has no effect.
So me and my client are free to go.
You won't be able to leave the cluster. I had Elrond destroy your pitiful insectoid ship. You're stuck with me, boy.
With almost perfect timing, what looks to be a taxi jury-rigged to become a spaceship crashes through the side of the cluster. Out of it, Dmitri pokes his large, helmeted head.
Inspector Olafsdottir, we have found them!
Elementary, my dear Pushkin.
Never taking anyone who even knows Guy out for a ride. Ever.
On the cab ride back, Dmitri and Tora were trying to smoke matching Sherlock Holmes pipes together, but neither of them knew how they worked. Meanwhile, Ted regaled Booster of his daring escape from the writer's room.
Yeah, I mean, once we figured out the acceptable formula for writing the most marketable scripts, Jemm just started churning them out, and everybody trapped got to reach their quotas and all leave simultaneously. All those guys probably made a mint on the royalties.
Damn, so it was you who was making me act all that garbage. I should be mad, but you did save my ass. Thanks, Teddy.
You're welcome, Booster. So, I take it you're done with trying to be a star?
Well, I'm done acting, that's for sure. Showbiz is all just one big machine that exploits passionate artists and monopolizes creativity.
I won't argue that.
I did take one idea from Manga Khan, though.
And what would that be?
The Booster Gold name is marketable as hell, so if I want to get rich, screw acting, I'm gonna start selling my own merchandise.
Hooray! American capitalism! Good for you!
Very good, sir. I'll start generating designs for t-shirts right away.
Thanks, Skeets. Where would I be without my favorite AI artist?
Ugh.
In the far reaches of space, the cluster remains destroyed after the battle of the Elrons and the Writers. Manga Khan sat on his throne, a lord without a land, talking to a mysterious man in the shadows.
It's not all bad, my liege. We don't need them to keep production going. Besides, you always have me.
That I do, my dear friend. But I never should have even brought that pitiful bug onto my ship. If I just let things be, my media empire would still be standing. Instead, some freak named Erwin Schwab is taking my spot as #1 producer. Lordy, what a shame. So that's where I come in? Yes, my dear friend. I thought you should be the first to know. I will be putting a 6 zillion credit bounty on the Blue Beetle.
From the shadows, a large man walks out, his chalk white skin in view, his wild black hair reaching down to his mid-back over his sleeveless leather jacket. His goatee and crimson eyes were finally topped off by a cigar in his mouth.
Well, expect that twerp's head on your desk by the end of the month. That's the Lobo guarantee.
Written by John Keller and Connor Dilworth. Directed by Elle, Noah Marshall, and Connor Dilworth. Featuring the voice cast of Garen Seho as Booster Gold, Alex Derickson as Blue Beetle, Noah Marshall as Skeets and the Space Cabbie, Connor Dilworth as Manga Khan, Rocket Red, and Kanjar Rowe, AJ as Elron, Lilly Pierce as Ice, Friendly Medic VA as Mr. Terrific and Jemm, son of Saturn, Grayson Luther as Elongated Man, Katrina Clairvoyant as Vixen and the Director, and Brendan McGinley as the Phantom Stranger.